Okay, back again. End of the day. A lot of mess. Yeah, just one of those things. So I got this one in, and I had that one in, and I had to go out and get some box section. So I got myself 2 meters of 2.5mm box, and that's for 40mm by 40mm. And what I did is I welded on some supports, some bracing here, and then I got this off the original rusted arm that went over, and I cut it free, and then I got the right measurement down and welded this one in, and then welded this in, and it's exactly in line with the hole that it was on before, so that's in the right spot. I've checked the level against the top of the floor plate going through over to here, and this weld seam, it looks like, where it came through to the floor is the same height. This is bent, but it's at the same height, so that's a good thing. It's quite stable now. There's a lot of mess on the floor. After work tomorrow I'll get in and clean it up. But it's nice to see something at the front. It's nowhere near complete yet, obviously, but it's a start. So what I'll probably do is build this front. I don't know what it's called. It's like a housing for the park brake and the gear shift linkage, and the gear shifter sits on top. It's this bit here. So this is just the floor plate itself, but this here and this section here form a box that goes all the way forward, and then it attaches to the front cowl, and the heater tube comes up through there, so there's a hole cut out. I don't even think I'm going to bother putting the heater tube in this vehicle. We just don't need it where I live, so I might just omit that altogether. I don't have it at all, so there's no heater tube at all to sort of use, so it's just another expense that I don't have to pay for. The way these prices are now, it's probably $1,000 for that tube from one end all the way to the end, so the other end. So I'm not going to bother. I'll whatever I've got I'll put in, but I'll just block it off. And up here at the front I won't even have it at all, so this panel at the front I'll probably just close it off where you see that tube normally, and just don't have it at all. Yeah, so it's just one less thing I have to cut through the frame. There's, you know, there's a hole that's cut through the main frame further back that goes all the way to the back, so I'm not going to bother about that. And also at the back floor, the cargo floor, there's 2 little divots that are in the floor where the tube comes up and over the tube spring tube. So I'm not even going to bother with that in there, and it'll make my floor a lot easier to put in. But yeah, these are nice and square now. See the, you know, from here all the way to the back there. It's straight. It's the same distance from here across as it is from here across. I will check this way later, but I'm pretty confident that it's fine. Yeah, so tomorrow I'll work on boxing this section in and actually getting it back into there, and I'll hammer all of this back edge flat, and then wire wheel it, and then rust treat it, and then probably paint some bitumen over it, and then I'll leave it at that. I might even cut this away all the way across and then get right up in underneath there and do that whole lot in one go. Not too sure yet. I may cut all of this away, so, but I can definitely make that bracket go all the way through. Looks like it's about 1 mil thick, 1.2, 1.3. I'm just going to use 2 mil zinc anneal and fold it up. It should be fine. That'll deal with the moisture a lot better than this did. I would like to have just used more of this stuff, but it gets thicker. I may be able to, I'm not too sure, but we'll see. And then I'll start tackling all of this area in here. So you've got your booster, your master cylinder, and your brake pedals, and other pedals, the 3 pedals that run across here. So that's all another day or more there, and also the this whole setup here. Apparently you can lift them up. You can lift them up higher. I don't know how much higher you can go. I suppose it's all got to do with clearance at the back. Underneath with your steering arms, but if I might be able to lift it up an inch higher than what it is, that might give me an extra inch in the cab for my knees. Because I owned a Kombi once before, and I remember it was the steering wheel was quite low for me, so yeah, I'll just play around with it. But I definitely think I might cut this across while I'm able to get at it now, and clean all of this out, flatten this plate out. It looks like it's salvageable underneath this one underneath. This has got a few rust holes in it here, so it needs to be cut, and it's got some deeper ones, so I might have to go sort of like that and across. Got to go across to here anyway, so take that out, and that'll give me some new clean steel to work on the floor up against, so when the floor goes in it's got a bit of a curl. Or I could even just run one single piece. I could make the floor in a few sections, so starting from here and go straight back and then curl it up and weld it into this in one piece, rather than having this seam here that would rust out eventually. That would be a better way to go. And then fill in on the inside from above, inside, and fill it up with tar all the way on the inside of both of them. And yeah, it won't rust out then. Yeah, generally these old cars were never meant to last this long. They didn't treat any of the steel in it. It's all just bare metal as far as I can see. Anyway, so it's pretty heavy now. I tried lifting this corner before and I couldn't do it, so there's a lot more weight to it now. Spent a good half an hour cleaning up the garage now and seeing where I'm at. Starting to take shape though. Yeah, so I got these, I probably didn't show that, but I cut these on the angle so they're ready for the front section to go in. And what I might do is, rather than use some thinner steel, there's that section that's about that wide, it's flat and it curves around, and then it's got a lip like that and it curves around. What I might do is just use one of these, and if you imagine the cross section here, I'll cut it about 10 mils all the way along, and then use that and then just hammer along these edges with my peening hammer, and it'll actually curl it, and because it'll stretch that metal along this edge. So you cut it there and hit here against the surface, another surface, it'll stretch it out. I'll actually curve it around, and that'll be really strong then. That's 2.5 mil steel, so once again it'll be stronger again and more rust resistant, so it'll be a good spot to build up from as well. I'll know that everything will be sturdy from that point. Yeah, I'm not sure what they used, how thick it was originally, but from what I can gather, every single combi rusts out in that area, so if I give it extra steel and treat it well, it should last forever. So all of this car is going to get the royal treatment as far as rust treatment goes. On the inside of all of these box sections are going to get, I think I've mentioned it before, they're all going to get coated with bitumen on the inside, and then bitumen on the outside, so the whole undercarriage of this vehicle will be painted in bitumen. on previous cars that I've worked on, the everything rusts except for the areas that have bitumen on them. The rust just doesn't get underneath the bitumen. It just, as long as the bitumen doesn't dry and start cracking and falling off, it just stays there and self-heals. It sort of works its way back into the cracks when it warms up. So yeah, bit of progress. A lot of mess though. Spent a lot of time cleaning up. Like, I've got to get in here now and clean all this mess up. Heaps of steel to go in the bin. Yeah, looking good though. Anyway, bring it back.